Welcome back to our channel where we bring you the latest updates on true crime cases from around the world. In today's video, we'll be discussing the shocking case from the desperate man who secretly killed his wife. This case is a tragic reminder of the devastating effects of domestic violence and the importance of identifying and addressing warning signs of abuse. Now let's dive into the details of this heartbreaking case and how justice was ultimately served. Good evening, everyone. We have a shocking story to share with you today. A desperate man who secretly killed his wife will shock you. The desperate man who secretly killed his wife was a tragic case of domestic violence. The victim was a woman named Sarah who had been married to her husband for 10 years. The abuse started soon after their wedding, but Sarah was too afraid to speak out or leave her husband. Over time, the abuse escalated and she became more isolated from her friends and family. Her husband would often control her every move, preventing her from working or even leaving the house. One night, in a fit of rage, Sarah's husband attacked her with a kitchen knife, causing fatal wounds. He then attempted to cover the crime by staging it to look like a burglary. For years, the case went cold until a new witness came forward with crucial evidence that led to the killer's arrest. It was later revealed that the husband had a history of violence and had been previously arrested for domestic abuse. The case highlights the devastating impact of domestic violence and the need for increased support and resources for victims. The murder in question was a heinous crime that involved the violent and intentional killing of an individual. The victim was a woman who was found dead in her own home with visible signs of trauma and strangulation. The circumstances surrounding the murder were particularly disturbing, as it revealed that the perpetrator was none other than the victim's own husband. The incident was a tragic reminder of the dangers of domestic violence and the devastating effects it can have on individuals and families. The police department worked tirelessly to gather evidence and bring the perpetrator to justice, and the case serves as a testament to the dedication and professionalism of law enforcement officials in ensuring that justice is served. The investigation into the murder was a comprehensive and thorough process that involved numerous forensic techniques and detective work. The police department was initially alerted to the case when the victim's family reported her missing. Upon discovering her body, the police immediately launched an investigation into the circumstances surrounding the murder. The investigation involved gathering evidence from the crime scene, conducting interviews with eyewitnesses and potential suspects, and using various technological tools to analyze the data. The investigation was a collaborative effort between different departments within the police force, including the forensics team and the detective division. Despite facing several challenges and setbacks, the investigation ultimately led to the apprehension and conviction of the perpetrator thanks to the hard work and dedication of the investigators involved. The case serves as a testament to the importance of diligent police work and the tireless efforts of law enforcement officials in ensuring that justice is served. The breakthrough in the case was a significant turning point in the investigation, as it provided crucial information that ultimately led to the arrest and conviction of the perpetrator. The breakthrough came when a neighbor came forward with vital information that they had witnessed the victim's husband acting suspiciously on the night of the murder and had heard a loud argument between the couple. This information proved to be a critical piece of evidence in the investigation and allowed the police to focus their attention on the victim's husband as the primary suspect. The police were able to gather evidence that linked the husband to the crime, including DNA evidence and witness testimony. The breakthrough was a result of the meticulous detective work and perseverance of the police department, who never gave up on the investigation despite facing several setbacks. The case serves as a testament to the importance of collaboration between law enforcement officials and members of the community in solving crimes and bringing perpetrators to justice. The arrest of the suspect was the culmination of a meticulous investigation and the hard work of law enforcement officials. The suspect, who was later identified as the victim's husband, was taken into custody and charged with the murder. The arrest was made possible due to the compelling evidence that the police had gathered, including DNA evidence and witness testimony. The suspect was arrested without incident and was taken to the police station for questioning. The interrogation process was conducted professionally, and within the confines of the law, the suspect was given his rights and was represented by legal counsel throughout the proceedings. The arrest was a significant development in the case and provided some much-needed closure for the victim's family and the community. The case serves as a reminder of the importance of the criminal justice system in bringing perpetrators to justice and ensuring that justice is served for the victims and their families. The perpetrator was found guilty of the murder in a court of law and was subsequently sentenced to a term of imprisonment. The sentence was handed down after a thorough and fair trial that considered all the evidence presented by both the prosecution and defense. The judge presiding over the case delivered a sentence that reflected the seriousness of the crime committed as well as the mitigating and aggravating factors surrounding the case. The perpetrator was sentenced to a lengthy prison term of 25 years to life, which would ensure that he remained incarcerated for a substantial period. The sentencing process was conducted professionally and within the confines of the law, and the perpetrator was given his rights throughout the proceedings. The sentence provided some measure of closure for the victim's family and the community, as justice had been served. The case serves as a reminder of the importance of the judicial system in upholding the rule of law and ensuring that criminals are held accountable for their actions. The case of the desperate man who secretly killed his wife was a tragic and senseless crime that rocked the community. The investigation, arrest, and conviction of the perpetrator demonstrated the professionalism and dedication of law enforcement officials and the criminal justice system in bringing perpetrators to justice. The case serves as a stark reminder of the devastating effects of domestic violence and the importance of identifying and addressing warning signs of abuse. It also highlights the need of community members to speak up and report any suspicious or concerning behavior to law enforcement officials. The sentencing of the perpetrator provided some closure for the victim's family and the community, but it's important to remember that the impact of the crime will be felt for years to come. The case underscores the need for continued support for victims of domestic violence and their families, and for efforts to prevent such crimes from happening again in the future. Overall, the case of the desperate man who secretly killed his wife serves as a powerful example of the importance of the criminal justice system in upholding the law and ensuring that perpetrators of crimes are held accountable for their actions. Thanks a lot for watching, you guys. If you found this video informative, then please like and subscribe to our channel for more true crime content.